step forward.
It's up and coming stars, and we're kind of like really getting out there. Even like The Rock is cool as he is and as charismatic as he is. He's been around for a while. Also, he's not in the same conversation as far as dramatic chops. We love him. He's great. He has great screen presence, but he isn't as far as I don't see him getting an Oscar as soon as I see Michael B. Jordan and John Majors.
You get Dwayne Johnson when you want to have a lot of money on your box office, but if you're trying to get like an Academy Award, that he's not the guy for that.
I wouldn't say that yet.
I would.
I think he's cursed and blessed with the case of like his WWE career, because obviously he got a little bit more foot in the door.
Seen his movies?
Yeah, but I think a lot of that's due to the fact they're writing the movies for. It's like Will Smith. Like people are writing their movies for him in particular to do what he does. They're not writing them for him to have range in the film like that.
Sure.
Because they're getting, at least because you look at every movie he's been in. Part of that's probably him as far as the roles he's taking as well. But a lot of movies he's been in have been like damn near the same movie over and over again. But like,
he's playing a lot of the same. Because the thing is, he is a gigantic person. Was he 6'3", 6'4"? 6'4".
Yeah. 6'4",
a whole bunch of yeah.
She was like 300 for
he's massive. You can only I mean this whole massive tangent. But all I was saying is that The Rock, you can only have certain roles for someone that gigantic. You can't
say that
playing a banker that's meant to be. Because it's same thing as Arnold back. Maybe y'all remember Arnold back in the day. It's kind of hit a dev's time, but back in the day when Arnold was in movies, it's like, yo man, how do you have such a horrible accent? And why are you so gigantic? You had to have a really, really good explanation as to why he gets around. Otherwise, it's just a whole bunch of questions as far as like, how is this possible? So with The Rock, the roles he takes, they could be dramatic in some sense, but they're still going to be. You have to create a world around that guy being there that makes sense.
For your point in regards to the very specified role, I agree with you to an extent. But then I look at people like Michael Clark Duncan or people in that realm that were bigger, but
He's like a fantastic actor. Like
right, but he was given an opportunity to be like Mr. What was his name? Something Coffee in Green Mile. Yeah, like he was given a chance to. Granted, like his size was part of that role. Like they acknowledged his size, but he was still given a chance to kind of show that range there.
That's fair.
Which again, him being an up and coming name and not having a WWE career to where you have an entire persona built already over the course of like a decade plus. I think it's like if like when LeBron goes into any movie, like we're gonna cast LeBron to do LeBron shit. We're not gonna cast LeBron to go cry on scene because people are going to see that person for what that person does at least.
That's fair. And I'm not saying that The Rock. I don't think Otis is saying this either. That's never going to happen. That's not. Why would you ever say never? But it's just from what we've seen so far, we're basing it off of that.
It's hard.
The Rock has definitely gotten better in his career too, and The Rock also he does have some dramatic chops. The movie, I think it was called Faster, was one where he was going up against Billy Bob Thornton. That was a villain.
Billy Bob Thornton is crazy.
It's a weird matchup. It's a weird ass matchup. And then Walking Tall, the remake of Walking Tall, he did too. So he has shown he wants to do drama. He actually tried to get really serious in his career by going by Dwayne Johnson too. So I'm not saying it's impossible by any means.
So even with this one, I don't know. I wonder how hard or easy it is to get certain roles. Because I think for Black Adam specifically, there's been talked about where like he's been trying to get this specific role for like a long time now. And I'm like, damn, you would think that like The Rock looking like a Greek god, playing a guy who's literally like a superhero god, you would think that would have come. Granted, I'm glad it came now because I don't know. I wanted to see him in this movie like 10 years ago. I think he got a lot better as an actor, but you would think a role like that would fit him perfectly. He'd be able to get done a lot faster. I mean, which in the meantime, we got like Daredevil, we got the first Daredevil, we got the first Elektra, and that whole run of movies, we never got anything. We never got The Rock as a superhero in that, and he was acting actively at that time.
Yeah. I mean, with that, it was more so I want to make a movie about that character than him being cast in it. Like there was just no demand for a Black Adam movie. Nobody wanted to see it. I think still no one really wants to see it, but I mean people are gonna go see it.
But at that point, who wanted a Daredevil and an Elektra movie at that point in time though? Or a Blade movie, or
but I mean that's Ben Affleck and that's Jennifer Garner. Those are like at the time they were A-listers, so at the time they can get anything that they want pushed.
But at that point in time, did you think they were like star power wise, like more people liked The Rock?
Yeah, they were the top.
Yes,
yeah, they were the top.
A-listers.
At that time, yeah.
Well, that was A-listers.
They were A-list actors, but it's like the dude, like The Rock, has been a personality and loved through multiple generations. Is my thing.
So what I'm saying is, at the time that Daredevil came out, The Rock hadn't done any movies. The first movie The Rock did was as a role in The Mummy Returns, where he played the Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Yes, and that came out, I think, after like a little while after Daredevil. So what I'm saying is, we're not saying that The Rock can act or shouldn't act, but I'm saying is that back then, at that time when Marvel was first doing the movies, on the time of Blade in the late 90s and everything, The Rock wasn't doing movies. People didn't want to see The Rock in movies. Also, the idea of The Rock wasn't trying to do movies himself. It was like, that's not my arena. But I thought Osu was going to mention the other elephant in the room as far as why didn't Black Adam happen earlier. Obviously, the Warner Brothers issues and all those things. This is a whole nother.
This is extra content. I'm cutting all this.
Stuff. Okay, yeah, but I think I do think this should have happened sooner with The Rock, with Black Adam, with making The Rock a superhero of credibility.
Yeah.
He wanted to do this for how many years now?
It's at 15, yeah. 15, which is it's weird to me. I'm like, damn, you wanted this specific character for 15 years. What about this character did you like?
But I know but I'm saying they announced it. They announced it officially a while ago.
Oh yeah.
And it's still for it to take this long is a bit like preposterous. So there's a myriad of reasons. I do think you got to put some of it on Warner Brothers again. It's Warner Brothers. What do you expect? At this point, Warner Brothers is basically like that uncle of yours that's like always doing heroin. It's like, hey uncle, can we go to the fair? Sure. Then he falls asleep for another 2 hours. It's like you gotta. Who knows what's gonna happen with this company?
All right.